Alright, we have game number 2 coming up here between University of Texas Austin and Louisiana State University. This is CSL over here on Lone Star Clash Channel 3. This is Lokazi casting for you. And we have another mirror match. That first one was Protoss versus Protoss. This time we have a Zerg versus Zerg, and it is on Metalopolis, really Zerg favored map. So we have Quasar spawning here as the orange Zerg for University of Texas. Good, that's their color, makes sense. And we have Bizzle down here for Louisiana State University, which I don't believe pink is their color, but he's rocking it anyway and looking good while doing it. We have the Overlords patrolling towards each other, so they're going to make a little high five over there over the advertisements, and they're going to know that they're close by air here on... And I'm not sure what's coming up next, Weakling, over in chat. NAU might be streamed after this. If they get with me, Lokazi.634 is my identifier number. I will see what I can do. But this is game 2 between University of Texas Austin and Louisiana State University. Of course, the CSL format is a 1v1, a 1v1, a 2v2, and it's a best of 5. So at that point the series can be over if one team sweeps. If not, it goes into 2 more 1v1s, depending on how long to get up to 3 wins. So that is the format. We have at least a 2v2 coming up after this. If LSU pulls out this game, it will be moving into game number 4. If not, game number 3 may decide it. We'll have to see. Overlord's getting in position, seeing that neither player is actually dropping a spawning pool yet. They're just straight droning. They're at 13 so far, so no early pools out of these players. Looks like they might be going into expansions, droning up to 15. It looks like Bizzle will be moving into an expansion, a 15 hatch. And over here we have one larva being floated on each side. So yeah, it's going to be expands for both players. Good, solid economic sense. You see that there's no spawning pool, there's no point. It just becomes like a waiting game, like, hey, I'm just going to keep this Overlord here, and as soon as I see you drop a spawning pool, then I'll drop one. But before then, I'm not doing it. Just going to make a bunch of drones. Those Zerg players are so greedy with them drones. Overlord moving over to the back here. Now there's not a lot of airspace, so Queens can actually pick it off, so you got to be really careful where you position your Overlords here. Bizzle with an Overlord out in front, moving over into the natural, seeing that that's going up, not that there's much of a doubt. Extractor and pool going down right as he leaves. He doesn't actually see them being dropped, but he can probably assume that they're being dropped. And extractor pool being dropped over here for Bizzle. So totally mirror so far in this close by air positions. Game 2, Zerg v Zerg. Well, Overlord looks like it's barely... This one right here might be in a little bit of trouble. He needs to pay attention, make sure it doesn't get picked off. I think he had it rallied over there. Spawning pool... 3 in gas for both players. Totally mirroring each other right now. Nothing to be said. Now these players, UTA is the higher ranked team in this series, though not by much. I think there's something like 7-3 or something like that. I would have to look at the actual bracket screen. But Louisiana State, not that far behind, so definitely something that they can pull out. And it's not like, you know, this series is decided before it happens. Though UTA looking pretty good this weekend. And as you can see in those brackets over there in the stream chat, you can pick those out and check it out. There are 3 teams tied for first right now. It's University of Houston, University of North Texas, and Rice. So 3 teams tied for number 1 right now, vying. Then there's another tie lower in the bracket. So there's a little bit of shuffling of the brackets this morning. That's why there's a little bit of a delay getting all that set up, but thanks for bearing with us, and the games are running and should be running for the next few hours till a nice lunch break this afternoon, which I think should be about maybe 2, kind of a late lunch, but they need to play that StarCraft, gotta catch up. We have link speed over here, both players still almost identical. Now Bizzle spent a little bit on an extra Overlord, kind of interesting, and now is moving into Ling aggression. Both players, 24 and 20 Lings, 26, 24 on the way, so just a massive amount of Lings. There's no Baneling nest down for either player. Roach Warren going down up here for Quasar. So they're just going to defend with Lings. It's going to be a lot of micro, a lot of surrounds, a lot of exciting attacks going on here in just a second as Ling speed is about to finish for both players. Droning behind this, Quasar looks like he just wanted to make enough Lings to survive, and then he's going to try and defend up till Roaches. And the Ling numbers are right now out in the middle of the map in Bizzle's favor. He got a little bit of a good surround on those Lings. Did not actually kill any of them though. One of them was about to be picked off in the back. moving up to the queens. Now Ling's moving in to get towards the drone line. Pretty good surface area here for both players. Good around the back. Quasar moving those Lings, getting a little bit of a better surround. Now these queens are helping out. Looks like Quasar is going to be backing out from this engagement a little bit. There we go. More Lings flooding in. Of course, defender's advantage. He's going to need to run away. Bizzle heading back home with his tail between his legs. I'm not sure if he actually got any drones. I think it's just a giant fight between them. And now roaches are coming out on the field for Quasar, so he's going to have a much better defensive position. And he is also up on harvesters, so he is looking really good right now, head and tech and harvesters. Big Ling surround, a lot of them getting surrounded a little bit, but then managed to slip out. I think a little bit of a mismicro there by Bizzle. It's a pretty good surround, had it coming from 2 angles, but now Quasar is definitely getting ahead. He's moving up into a few roaches with Lings. Roaches are just going to chill back home for defense, park on the bottom of that ramp, and the Lings are going to be as aggressive as possible moving down here towards Bizzle's base. Bizzle is a little bit behind here on even units. Yeah, his army supply as well, I guess is about the same. Those roaches aren't moving across the map, so now he's just still massing up more and more Lings. I feel like 2 banelings could change this entire game, but more roaches being produced, 7 roaches on the way, and there should be an attack coming out of Quasar here pretty soon. You do not need 7 roaches for defense, in addition to these 5 that are already out. So 12 roaches and 28 Lings versus 51 Lings. Those roaches are going to do a lot of damage. As long as the Lings are there to prevent the roaches from being surrounded, Bizzle will be in a very good position. Bizzle running up just a little bit behind this. He is not quite caught up on economy, but getting there. 3 spine crawlers may actually help with this, as long as he can surround the roaches near the spine crawlers and focus the roaches with the spine crawlers. We'll have to see. Quasar moving across the map with these slow roaches. Big push coming in. 24 more Lings. Wow, 18 more in production. So Quasar moving to end this right now. Moving into a little bit of tech over here, actually. Bizzle is starting an Evo chamber. Getting a surround on some of the roaches up there at the front. That's a really good catch. And now Lings moving forward. Spine crawlers doing a lot of damage. Quasar needs to back up from these spine crawlers. The engagement is not going to go his way if he continues it this way. More Lings do need to be produced. And wow, going into tech with this big attack on his front door. Interesting choice here by Bizzle. I do not think he's going to be able to hold one of the spine crawlers going down. A second one about to die. More Ling reinforcements flooding in. 16 Lings already here or on the way, and Bizzle looks like he is going to be out of this game here very shortly. Quasar's roaches are still alive. More Lings flooding in. He kept that good contingent of roaches. He's going to move up into the main and probably try and pick off the production buildings, stopping all reinforcing Lings from coming down the ramp as he takes out this natural. Bizzle calls GG with that 2-base lean out of Quasar, taking game number 2 for University of Texas Austin.